If only we had some sort of melee weaponry that involved beams.
He has an heat axe, so...
That seems like it'd be the worst thing underwater. It feels like a heat axe underwater just turns into an axe. Hey everybody, welcome back to one of the Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny. Thoughts about last episode?
The confusion is real. I mean, Archangel's going one way, Kigali has been kidnapped. Well, she was kidnapped. She literally said, "You kidnapped me." Like, yeah, we admit the kidnap, but we're the good guys, so of course it's okay when we do it, right? Kind of situation. Big brother, little sister kind of going on like, "Oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing." She's like, the fuck's going on, right? And then Arthur being confused, and I think with the whole marriage thing, the implication that he's like, "Oh, this is not merely a attack on the plants and or a bit, going against the plants, but it's a personal sense of betrayal that he decided to marry this guy, regardless of whether it was politically beneficial. It feels very much like I gave her a ring, and she was going to marry someone else." Even though, yes, Luna Maria says, I'm sure she had her reasons, but if it were me, I would first flash my panties and then tell the guy to F off. So,
To be fair, she flashed her panties at us, not at anybody else. Also the element that Athrun has to know that she was prearranged to marry Yuna, especially because he lived in Orb for all that time, too.
Yeah.
I'm more confused by the statement you're saying that Archangel is heading one way, implying that it's not going anywhere near where Maneuver is going.
Well, Archangel seems to be just in the bottom of the sea. We don't know where they're going, right? It seems to be there's going to be a fight between Phantom Pain and the Minerva. I don't know if the Archangel is going to be involved in that fight, though. I don't know what their plans are, other than hide in the bottom of the ocean, under the sea, kind of situation.
Oh no! Please keep going.
No, I'm not going to do that. It's a war crime if I sing more than one bar.
Yeah, because you'll force an entire population to evacuate their seats to get away from the screens.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess under the sea is the safer place than just flying into space. There's less people down there, because Zaft is the only one we've seen with subs, ironically, on Earth.
Which doesn't make sense, but sure.
Well,
you would think that the navies of the Earth would have submarines as part of their fleets.
Well,
right?
Maybe they've all determined that it's fucking stupid. None of us have done, Sequest, right? We're not building underwater civilizations. What's really down there? Plus, we've got, mobile suits that can go down there. We don't need a whole submarine filled with... I'm just going to call them casualties for right now. So, literally, we can have 1 to 2 guys in mobile suits that can fight down there, or a whole submarine packed with, dead people.
I mean, you can also deploy mobile suits from submarines.
Which is what Zaft does.
Yeah, and send supplies and the like. And technically speaking, submarines should be stealthier and difficult to detect.
Technically, we do that with boats.
Yeah, but they should theoretically be less vulnerable.
No. You see, the thing about submarines is they're completely surrounded by the water, which makes them more vulnerable. Because in this world, literally every weapon penetrates every armor. So literally, your vantage point is: do we want 1 point of contact with the water, or do we want 100% coming into contact with the water?
Yeah, but I would think that the water would shield the submarine from detection.
Well, so you'd think that, stealthier. But here's the thing. You'd be wrong. Because 100% of underwater submarines, they're all underwater, 100% of submarines that we've seen on the show have been destroyed. Now, granted, you could argue, which apparently you're not, but you could argue that 100% of submarines we haven't seen on the show haven't been destroyed. In which case, you could argue that they maybe are very stealthy. So stealthy, in fact, the writers don't know that they're
Well, yeah, that's an argument I could make, but I won't.
Well, like I'm saying, though, I'd rather not be on the submarines. And as per the times I brought it up in Mobile Suit Gundam, underwater fights are just the fucking worst. It's no fun watching them. I'd rather play the underwater stages of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles than watch them happen on screen because they're pointless. But at least I have a chance to get through the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stages. I grew up when it came out. I have at least some experience. All of my experience with underwater levels in Gundam is bad.
Yeah.
Again, you didn't get to see the guy who was like angry that Walt Field died, even though he didn't, and got his one episode of trying to one-up him in his submarine.
Yeah. And he died.
Yeah. I don't even point you at the red X on that board. It's dumb. Don't like in the show, right? Most Gundams involve space, which is, like submarines, but without the water. So why are we going to think about it? Yeah, it is. It's the same thing. Just one has pressure, and the other one is the absence of pressure.
Yeah, but the mechanics don't work the same way because, the tendency for a submarine then would be to explode because you design something to keep the pressure in, but since there's no pressure out to resist, so it's...
I don't believe that's true. I don't think if you took a submarine into space, it would explode because of the pressure differential.
I think there was a video about that. I got to check that out.
Yeah, that one time that NASA did that famous experiment where they flew a submarine into space.
No. They explain the possible mechanics of a submarine in space. Clearly, it's theoretical because you don't see submarines in space.
I mean, literally, the difference is that one keeps air pressure inside of it to allow for its ascension and descension. Well, obviously, the taking of water would be the descension. But anyway, the idea being that there's no huge air pressure differential in that the submarine doesn't fill itself with air to push back against the pressure differential of the water pushing against it. It's built thicker. That's the Futurama joke. How deep can we go? Well, we're designed for 0 to 1 atmospheres, so the thickness of the outer shell of a submarine and its rigid design is built to be able to withstand those pressures. If you ever saw the breakdown of what happened to that, what was the Titanic sub thing called? How that thing broke down. Well, one is partial because it's made of carbon nanofiber, which isn't designed for that kind of thing either.
Yeah.
And it only had the plugs on the other side, which were designed for the pressure, but the middle part wasn't. It's not about... That thing wasn't designed for air pressure pushing out, so it exploded. That is not how that...
In this case.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that if you lift that thing out of the water, it doesn't explode because the air pressure is pushing out from the inside. That's not how that works. That's what I'm saying. A submarine in space would not explode. In fact, I would argue that the battleships and everything that we see in these shows are basically submarines in space because they're built in that same fashion of being armored. They're being armored against weapons fire. Submarines are armored because they need armor to withstand atmospheric pressures.
That's all I got to say about this upcoming episode. But I do believe somebody is going to get seriously hurt or killed on the Minerva side, one of the mobile suit pilots.
I doubt it. So, the problem is that Minerva has NPC pilots as well. So,
I think one of the main ones.
I doubt it. Well, why?
Because I get the feeling that we're about to get one of those like, oh no, remember this show is bloody and there's a bloody war and killing all these people have no names really does have the same impression. But if we, I don't know, maim Luna Maria or something, it's like, oh shit,
I would normally say that this doesn't feel like an episode where any impact like that would be needed, in that there's nothing here. Well, yeah, but you use shock value where it's needed. Right? Like if we were fighting over Orb or something and somebody has to defend their homeland, right? Or protect somebody that matters to them. We're in the middle of nowhere, right? So...
I mean, a lot of people got in the first season got killed just because, just seemed to come out of nowhere. It wasn't like, oh, they're doing something very important. Nope.
No, legitimately not. most people that died died in the major battles at the end of the show. Nobody died in the middle of nowhere except for like the no-named zaft people that showed up for one episode. Like Nicole died in the episode where Kira tries to kill Athrun, or Athrun tries to kill Kira. Like it built up to a major thing, and the death was the build up to that. This is like a nothing thing.
Who got decapitated on the fighter?
Toll. Also in the same episode as the Nicole Kira fight, is the same episode as the Kira Athrun fight. Like I said, it all happens together. Nobody in the show has just died by themselves. Apropos of nothing. I mean, I would say Ellie, but Ellie dies in the middle of a fleet battle.
Killed by Yusuk.
Yeah, versus this is literally in the middle of nowhere. Maybe not if you live in India, but for us, this is the middle of nowhere, the Indian Ocean. It's so in the middle of nowhere that I believe that there is a no-contact island of people who with no contact with the outside world because they kill people.
I don't know if that's in the Indian Ocean, but yeah.
I believe that's in the Indian Ocean. There's a... I can't remember the name of the island. You don't go there because every outside human contact that's tried to, they literally just kill anyone who lands.
Anyway, that's all I got to say about this before we begin.
North Sentinel Island, which is, it's between India and Thailand, are the most isolated people in the world.
Good for them.
And the only other reason I would think that somebody would die this episode would be the fact that I'm the one who brought up the Hawk sisters.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think they're going to,
Luna Maria is literally a Gundam pilot, or a mobile suit pilot.
Yeah, a mobile suit pilot.
On the Minerva. You're like arguing against your own point now.
No. But I think the reason why they might not kill her this episode or severely wound her, maybe severely wound her.
Because she's got a nice ass.
No, because I think they might set up a situation, like I said earlier in all episodes, where one of them's Minerva goes rogue, essentially, like what happened with the Archangel. And then she's going to decide, well, screw you, I'm going to stay with... One of them is going to decide to stay with Saf. So that's my take of why they're not going to kill her. They might kill her after that happens, so the other goes like, oh no, my sister, blah, 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 but,
Again, your call was this episode, so...
Could happen, but...
Alright, well, no other way to find out but to get into it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I mean, we're hitting like One Piece levels of recap.
Yeah.
Every episode starts with a recap. Mm-hmm. Then, in the middle of the episodes, we get a bunch of recap. Again, I feel like they're pushing Luna Maria on Athrun.
I think it's more pushing Cagalli and Athrun apart.
I'm not sure how exactly that's different from what I just said.
Because there's no need for Luna Maria there.
She's the element that's pushing them apart if she's trying to be with him. Also, she was on this ship before he was. I mean, why would you? Want to, I meant.
Yeah.
Again, I wonder who Little Kitten is. Despite your insistence that Little Kitten might not be a person, but also might be a person. This is the part where you talk back to me.
No, we're talking about wait, maybe because it could be Archangel, or it could be the Minerva.
Well, I think we're pretty sure it's the Minerva, given the fact that they saw them in the preview of next episode fighting the Minerva.
Mhm.
So that's probably my largest clue that it's not the Archangel.
But where is their ship? I mean, did they dump the ship, or is it hiding, and they're not using it because they're in a carrier, an Alliance carrier?
Yeah, well, it seems to me they've got the majority of the world to park their ship in, considering the Alliance is in control of most of Earth.
Yeah. That's a big knife. And that's a deep neckline on that dude. It's like,
once again, I want to point out the uselessness of just describing what's happening on screen to a group of people who can't see what's happening on screen.
Well, I mean, you cut this out completely?
I don't cut it out. I cover it up for the purposes of copyright. Before, we were able to hold a whole conversation in between the opening and last two episodes. Can't get anything out of you.
Hey, young Paul Jones. Yeah.
You wouldn't believe how many main characters they have on board.
Oh, conscripted slave labor, basically?
I'd rather have the Gaia than all of their mobile suits. Why not?
Guess he's not prepared for it.
I mean, every other mobile suit we've seen can go in the water and somehow get back out, even though you'd think that they would sink. I legit thought she was going in for a kiss.
Yeah. It might be one. Maybe one way he manipulates her is by implying a romantic relationship.
Every other one has like a launch platform that throws them forwards. They've got a conveyor belt.
Also, one transforms into a submarine, and the other one is flying platform. So one is Gaia is the Earth platform.
Okay, now he's in one. I'd be more upset about the level of flashbacks we're doing.
Yeah.
And the other one?
Underwater, he can detect it.
What, they put it on the carrier?
No, on the other one that went submarine. They're not detecting
I'm
the
not
other.
responding to you, I'm responding to the show.
Yeah.
They said, "There's there a carrier anywhere?" They said no. They said the Mirage Coliad, the cloaking device that they used on the Phantom Pain.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's what I
didn't
said. They
recognize
put it on the
primary.
carrier, which implies that they can put it on anything. Maybe it is like the Star Trek cloaking device. If you take it off of one ship, you can put it on another.
Yeah.
Why not? You're both in faith.
確かに指揮下にはないかもしれませんが、今は私もこの間の搭乗員です。私も残念ながらこの戦闘は不可避と考えます。
なら、発信後のモビルスーツの指揮をお任せしたい。
I'm kind of confused. Doesn't she outrank him?
Yeah, but I think they're
both in faith.
yeah, but I don't think the way it's being treated is that they're individuals that can do whatever they, rather than, you know, it's like a Commander Shepard kind of situation, right? It's like, oh, you're a Spectre now, you can do whatever, right?
Well, again, though, they react to military ranks still, it feels like, because she's a faith officer, but she's still a captain of a ship. Same way that he is whatever rank he is, but also a faith officer.
I think the reason he was made faith was that he could do whatever, right? He's an independent actor.
In the same form of using the Mass Effect example, it'd be like if Captain Anderson was made a Spectre and Shepard was a Spectre. That I would expect that Captain Anderson could order Shepard around.
Technically, no. Because
they'd both be Spectres, and then they'd both have Earth Forces ranks as well.
Yeah, but if it's a matter of the Council giving one order to one and another to another, then the Spectre should do what the Council wants and not what... That's the thing about the Spectres. It's confusing, and I think this is...
It's hard to use it as an example of this situation. I'm just indicating that they're both Faith members, and they're both members of zaft, and as members of zaft, they both have ranks. So as captain of the ship and Faith member, she should be able to order a lower-ranked Faith member. Also, I think we made up the thing about them being like Spectres.
No, they actually said it, that they when they talk about the Faith thing, it's like, no, Faith agents directly take orders from the Council.
Because also he was made a Faith officer and assigned to the ship. But also given a thing to make her, the commanding officer of that ship, a Faith officer.
It's confusing. That's what it is.
It's like, why would you send that along if not to give her authority over him? Especially because it's Talia, who has an existing relationship with Durandal. Wonder if we're going to see another one of those mobile armors again. They can stop these blasts. Neo. Oh, sorry. That was the other side reading him. So much better than the flop thing that Mobile Suit Gundam has.
Yeah.
Like I said, would have preferred one guy over 30 of these things, even if it couldn't swim. Well, those guys are dead. Certainly doesn't have the multi-strike capability of the strike. Sorry, I meant freedom. That guy's definitely gonna die.
Yeah.
では彼らはどこから来たというのです。付近に基地があるとでも。
こんなカーペンタリアの話す先にか。そんな情報はないぞ。ソナー2冠数1。何？早い。これはモビルスーツ。アビスです。
Because again, with these subs in these shows, it's like one hit and boom, you're gone.
Yeah.
Supreme waste of resources to build these subs. It's time to goon.
Yeah.
If only we had some sort of melee weaponry that involved beams.
He has an heat axe, so.
That seems like it'd be the worst thing underwater. It feels like a heat axe underwater just turns into an axe. That was just bad cutting, I feel like. Not so fast, other fight. So we're gonna send out Azaku on a surfboard. It's really dumb, but we think it might work. We were just standing on a thing. Yes, please do something. Again, once again, though, the annoyance I'm feeling.
Yeah.
That these blue and white Earth Alliance ones are just basically like the Impulse in coloration. You know, we just came from the Orb red ones fighting Atherin's freedom. Right up the ass. What, more improved than that one time you fought him before? It wouldn't have hit you had you not stopped.
Yeah.
The problem here is also we know that Neo isn't going to die because Ramius hasn't encountered him yet.
Yeah.
It's highly unlikely Stella's gonna die because she hasn't fallen in love with Athrun yet.
Yeah.
Or Shin, rather.
シン下がれ乗せられてるぞ シンうるさいやれれ タイプ砲を急げドアの奥のやつ何をやってるか
Sorry, who's attacking them now?
I don't know.
Oh, I guess they
Oh.
got onto land at some point. Completely ineffectual gunfire.
こんなところに建設中か まさかここの民間人
Right in front of
Oh,
the
that-
guy, too, right?
That was a mistake.
なんだって言うんだよお前も
Well, the problem here is that we've seen him in the preview ripping the fence out of the ground.
Yeah.
But he's still fighting with the Gaia, who, as far as we know, doesn't give a shit. Except,
なんで
where are you leaving to?
拠点予定地にまで入られてるしな
何やってんだよボケ
言うなよお前だって大物は何も落とせてないだろ
ならやってやるさ
It's weird that they're talking to him like an equal.
Yeah.
Turns out it wasn't cloaked, it was just
4
hidden.
時の方向に
いや
地球軍空母ニーラゴンゴに接近中
アビス接近距離200
追加時いっぱい機関最大完成
ダメです間に合いません
It's always too late,
Yeah, yeah.
especially when you're underwater. If only you had had one main character on the sub, you might have survived.
Yeah, but no.
Not even
Yeah,
a
I
good
think
evil
this-
laugh.
Yeah, I think that guy's gonna have to die at some point.
What's your problem? There was no children on that sub.
No, but give him the evil laugh. I'm told to retreat, but I'm still going to do this.
Well, because he was egged on by the you haven't gotten any
Yeah.
big,
Yeah,
you would have
that
thought he would have ripped up the gate first before going on the assault.
何を
Yeah.
やってるんだやめろもう彼らに戦闘力はない
Yeah, but they're enslaving people, so. And they murder those people. So, you know.
Not for nothing, but those fences probably felt somewhere near to where they were before. And it's
Yeah.
still going to be pretty hard to get around them.
True.
No, never mind. I guess they feel exactly horizontal.
たいのなら別に構いやしませんけどね。
Please, sir, can I have another?
俺は間違ったことはしてませんよ。あそこの人たちだってあれで助かったんだ。
You asked for another.
Yeah, guys. Yeah.
じゃない。自分だけで勝手な判断をするな。力を持つ者ならその力を自覚しろ。
I mean, he has a point.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just think it's a bit jarring that we went from a scene with Athrun smiling at what Shin did to him
Yeah.
slapping him. And that's when they decided to rebuild the Gundam.
Oh, the Windram, as they call them.
Yeah, I mean, they're not Gundams, they're mobile suits. It's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
you could easily take this as the start of another Gundam series on its own.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, if we have the whole Junker thing from the manga, then somebody would come in after us, like pick it up and go like, "Hey, we can rebuild this one."
I mean,
Like,
I don't know how Astray is going. I haven't read anything new from Astray yet, but
mhm.
that's happening alongside the original series. So there's no telling what those people are up to during Seed. I mean,
if
during
they're
Destiny.
doing anything at all, yeah, if at all.
But as it turns out, you were wrong.
I felt like somebody had to die, but
Nobody did.
I guess I was. Yeah.
No one major, anyway. I mean, exactly what I said. Submarine fucking
Mhm.
dies in the submarine episode.
Man.
It's a waste of resources and manpower to put anybody on a submarine. Especially when you've got humanoid robots that can go underwater.
何のためになぜ戦う誰と
Oh, as we have.
撃てるのは
Literally like just watching Mirror.
Yeah.
戦場に立つ誰もが持つ
Wow, and shower scenes too.
だがその先に生まれる事態を知る者は今
hmm
次回機動戦士ガンダムシードデスティニー戦士の情
The
報
soldier's life.
新たな道突き進めインパルス
I mean, he might have been smiling what he did, but also I think, which is hypocritical because he was given the faith badge so he could do what his heart follows, tells him to do. But no, Chin has to follow orders, right?
Well, literally he does, because Shin doesn't have
Yeah.
this faith badge.
Yeah, no, but it's somebody who was given freedom to do what he wants militarily, and then goes like, "Oh, by the way, you shouldn't, you should not save civilians who are being enslaved to do a military base." You
Remember
bitch.
that
You know?
Talia gave him command of the entire mobile suit
Yeah,
force.
I know.
So
But still,
you're
there's a little
essentially
bit of progress.
telling the other. You're saying that the guy who has command of the entire forces, but has the freedom to do what he wants, and chose to enter the fight on behalf of the forces of the ship he's representing, should allow everyone to do whatever the fuck they want.
It's slightly hypocritical.
It's not hypocritical.
entirely.
It's literally part of the military organization that they're in. He's not being given freedom on his own. He's being given freedom by the hierarchy that decided to make him a faith officer. Right? He's not choosing to do what he wants on his own. He's choosing to do what he wants under the authority that he's been given to do what he wants. Shin hasn't been given that authority. Shin is part of the hierarchy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I still feel there's a tinge of hypocrisy.
There's
there.
no hypocrisy whatsoever. I don't understand how you see this hypocrisy.
Because he's calling out somebody. It's like, oh, he's getting on the high horse. Like, I know what I'm doing.
What was your chosen background for Commander Shepard?
What do you mean chosen background?
War hero, Earther. What was your background for Commander Shepard?
War hero.
So, all right, so you chose the Shepard, who has a background in fighting with other units, inside of a hierarchy. So, despite that, when you had Spectre options where you had to choose somebody out for not following the orders that they were given, did you say, fuck it, you did your best, whatever?
Depends on the situation.
Right. Okay. So you're a hypocrite. You're seeing hypocrisy in other people for being a hypocrite yourself.
Yeah, that too.
Commander Shepard was a commander of military operations. He has to know that you have to work as a team in order to get a job done. But you expect him as a Spectre to just, everybody can have their own ideas in the battlefield, not have to operate together as a cohesive team, because, actually, teams are overrated. We would really work together if every soldier just did whatever the hell they wanted to do.
But I feel the reason why Arthur, at least that's what Durandal says, was because he, has to follow his heart and he has to follow the moral ground. So when Chin does that, at least you have
Atheron's also been proven.
Separate Kira and Chin. Kira going after what's her name? Stella, and having the 1-to-1 fight, and him liberating the people that were being enslaved. So if he's getting a slap for, hey, you went after her when I needed you to be in the fight upstairs, that's one thing. If he's getting the slap because he actually saved some people from slavery who were literally being gunned down in a gutter in front of him, right?
He literally acknowledged that he did good by saving those people, and he's being called out for not following orders. You know what? You probably could have defeated these guys and then wandered over and saved those people afterwards.
Yeah, that too works.
Yeah, again, the element is that Atherin earned his position. He's a proven entity via the last war. Shin is fucking nobody yet.
Well, yes, but how did he prove himself? Well, he might be fucking
a lot of people, I don't know. But he is he is a nobody in this situation. And if you're asking why didn't Shin get promoted, ask the hierarchy. Oh, wait, it might be because of the fact he doesn't follow the hierarchy.
But how did Arthur become proven? By actually breaking away from Zaft and going solo. So
cool.
At some point,
so your evidence is that since Atherin broke away from doing what he was told, and then eventually got promoted to a faith officer where he can just do whatever the hell he wants, obviously the path of promotion is to do whatever the fuck you want. But then again, at that point, you can't say he's being hypocritical, because then he just has to get slapped in the face all those times, because it's part of the path to promotion, via your logic.
Well, he shouldn't get a big slap on the face.
He should be, because apparently it's the path to promotion is to just take whatever licks you get, because Atherin also got his ass chewed out plenty of times for going off to do what he wanted. You don't remember Yazik going off about our absentee commander? Maybe we'll just usurp him.
Yeah, but eventually when he joined the Three Ships Alliance and he went his own way. So,
Right, and then in which case Durandal brings him back to Zaft, not just to get promoted to Faith. He has to bring him from Orb to Zaft as well.
Yeah, but I think at some point, because this whole thing about these episodes is you got to do what you believe is right, even if social pressure and all that. It's like, Kira went and rescued his sister, and they went away, right? And they're doing their own thing. I think that's kind of the message, that eventually you got to decide what's right and what's wrong, and you got to do the right thing, even if it seems at the time wrong. So in a way, the show is saying that, yeah, if Shin hadn't had that, if you didn't have that scene where he saves those people, right, from literal slavery,
it would be Amuro in season 1. It'd be Amuro from Mobile Suit Gundam when he goes crazy after his own village.
Amuro actually starts blowing up bases by himself when he goes on.
Well, no, I'm talking about with the home village where he goes off and destroys that Xeon base that's nearby. That's meaningless.
But if you haven't shown that sequence, then okay, he just disobeyed orders and he should be put down. But when
put down, whoa, buddy, you know, step disobey. What is it, Warhammer 40K?
Put in his place. That's what I meant to say. But when you add to the fact that he's like, oh no, these people are being enslaved and I'm going to save them, and he does. He doesn't ignore them.
He's still guilty of insubordination, regardless of what good thing he does.
But you have a bunch of people whose whole thing is that they save the world by being insubordinate.
Cool.
You know what
Those people are also like the standouts. Like, right. If you expect your entire military to go fucking rogue and leave with whatever military equipment they've got because they think that each one of them can save the world, You just destroyed the whole fucking country.
Or maybe you don't have a war, I guess.
No, because now you have, instead of a war against the country, you got a war against individually supplied people with weapons of, I would almost say, mass destruction. A mobile suit is a weapon of mass destruction.
I'm feeling that the series is giving, mixed messages here.
I just don't see the hypocrisy. Literally, it's like Amuro deserts, right? Amuro just fucking goes off on his own, instigates a battle.
No. Imagine if White Base had gone like, fuck it, we're not following the Earth Alliance, Earth Federation orders anymore. We're going to do our own thing, right? They don't do that. They're always following the Earth Federation orders. We don't have a precedent for, hero ship going like...
Except for everybody that fucking tries to desert from White Base.
And they always come back.
It is a micro level version of that.
Okay, do they literally go against their own forces to stop a genocide?
Well, but because we haven't seen it in the show yet. Versus all the times we've seen attempted genocides in Seed. Literally, it takes an attempted genocide for Archangel to, leave. Versus White Base, which hasn't encountered that shit. So it's not a good example, because the two different crews have faced two entirely different things. Also, Archangel was faced with the idea that the Earth government was trying to kill them when sorry, I was going to say Africa for some reason. When Australia? God damn it, A-place names. Brain.
And they were in Orb, I think.
It wasn't Orb. Josh A is the name of the location, but I can't remember. It is in America.
No, it's Alaska.
Alaska, yes, it's an A-place names. When Alaska is set to self-destruct and they're trying to kill their own people alongside all of Zaft's invading forces, that's when they decide, they're actively trying to kill us along with everybody else. So even if we escape from this alive, they're not going to be on our side. Versus White Base, which has had nothing like that happen to them. That's why it's not a 1-for-1 here. Archangel didn't just decide to go rogue for no reason. Literally, their own side tried to kill them.
They still do it anyway.
Yeah, they still... What do you mean they still do it? As though anything I said was justification. Well, again, the entire situation is different. If White Base went to Jaburo, and then Gop was like, fucking blow it all up and make sure that White Base is in the center of it, and then White Base went rogue, yeah, that would make sense. Your own side tried to kill you. Archangel had that happen to them. What was Archangel going to do? Go back to Panama and be like, hey guys, we survived, No. It's not a 1-for-1 example. It doesn't make sense to correlate the two things together.
Well, you were the one who brought in Amuro and how he was behaving.
Yeah, Amuro deserting. Like you said, it's a microcosm of the example that Amuro just decides to go rogue, steals the best weapon in the entire Earth Federation, and then instigates a fight which makes the next fight worse for the Earth Federation, but also creates the impetus that McQueen and Caecilia need to up production of prototype models of mobile suits and mobile armors. Amuro literally makes things worse by going rogue. Versus your implication that people should just fucking go rogue. You know what? Forget all the training that you've done on teamwork and working as a cohesive unit. Just do whatever the fuck you want. Go Rambo. Rambo worked, right? Nothing bad ever happened to Rambo.
Well, he got arrested.
Yeah, because, it's kind of like against the law to do that.
I think ultimately, if they hadn't had that scene, I think it would have made perfect sense, because he goes rogue, the bad guys escape, and it's like, dude, you screwed up because the bad guys escaped, and we lost a submarine. Well, actually, he wasn't underwater.
Conversely, what could have happened is that he goes rogue, somebody like Luna Maria fucking dies because he wasn't there when he was ordered to be. It could go opposite direction. Yeah, so it's opposite ways. You're justifying it because he does a good thing at the end. And it's like, yeah, but also conversely, what you expected to happen is somebody namely dies on our side, because that's what he takes for him to learn the lesson that we've got to work as a unit. that not every time somebody goes rogue is a good thing. Not a lot of the time do you use the term, he went rogue, as a good description of what happened. Can you tell me why I have to spend $5 million repairing those 7 city blocks that exploded? Sorry, Chief, I went rogue.
I mean, you know, yeah, there's still something that feels off about this, though.
Well,
Maybe if I think about it a little more.
literally,
maybe I
I'm
can-
not in your head, so I can't figure out. It just seems weird that you think it's an hypocrisy. Because once again, the character who did it is a guy from the first season who made it all the way through. Also was willing to sacrifice his own life to blow up the super weapon by which Zaft was going to destroy everybody on Earth. It's like he literally settled everything. It's like he was willing to jump on the grenade to save everybody.
Yeah, the
And then
Captain
you're like,
Americans.
yeah, that guy kind of deserves. He's proven himself to be self-sacrificing to such a degree that I trust his judgment. Whereas Shin has proven nothing to anybody. He's literally a new character.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying. He's proven nothing to anybody. He's got no field experience.
I mean, he's been in a couple of battles.
Right, but I'm talking about, like, well, this is the argument we had. God, I don't remember what show. I think Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah.
The difference between a battlefield and a battle. Because remember,
I mean-
Amuro says something about this is a battlefield, and I'm like, yeah, this is the first time we've ever seen like hundreds of mobile suits
I mean,
arranged
he was in a
fight.
battlefield when he faced the Federation
Was
fleet.
he? Because I only saw the corner
Yeah.
of his face in the screen once. For all I know,
mean-
that's what you do for radio transmissions. Like, that guy could have been like 200 miles
I mean,
west
Chin
of-
took on the entire fleet by himself and destroyed dozens of. I mean, he was facing at least a dozen or more mobile suits and the warships and the thing. He literally destroyed
Well,
11
by that time,
warships.
there was like 14 ships that were left. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. But I'm saying
that was a battlefield. It wasn't just one.
there's a
one-to-one. It
difference
was-
between that like life or death battle and
Mm-hmm.
the end of season 1.
Okay.
I'm not sure. If you just head tilt at me again, I have no idea where the fuck you're going.
I'm not following. That's basically what it.
The end of
what's the
season
difference?
1 was literally an entire two sets of super weapons being used constantly against one another, plus the entire armed forces of both sides. It was literally the highest scale battle that we've ever seen. It's
So
not
far.
on par with Shin fights or
Yeah,
small
but you
Earth
said that
Alliance
he
fleet.
wasn't unexperienced. He has experience, right?
No, I'm
he
saying
is
he's not as
battle-tested.
experienced.
Oh, okay.
I keep saying this over and over again. Athrun is vetted. Shin is new guy on battlefield.
Doesn't mean he's wrong necessarily.
He is wrong, though. His commanding officer told him, we need you in this fight, and told him exactly what he needed to do, and he disobeyed direct orders from his commanding officer. And you're like, well, it's wrong that the commanding officer has the ability to do whatever he wants, and Shin doesn't. So what? Shin is a fucking child versus Athrun, who is the adult here. The adult gets to make decisions because he's got the rank and ability. I'm making a analogy. That in a room full of children, Shin is one of the children. Athrun is the commanding officer. He is the adult in the room. The children need to listen to the adult. It doesn't matter if the adult can go off and eat as much candy as he wants. The children don't get to do that. The children have to listen to what they're told until they become adults.
Or they can prove the adult wrong.
It doesn't matter, actually. If you prove an adult wrong, you go in timeout.
No.
Learn your fucking place.
Yeah, I don't. That I don't believe. But
Well,
that's okay.
sorry, I can only just now imagine what the lessons household is going to turn into. Well, we already know because of that one time. It's full of dead kids. You can turn in your badge lessons.
Oh my god! Oh,
Turn in your badge and your
it
gun.
never ends. God, it never ends. Yeah, we're gonna leave it there. That's gonna be the final word there because
It was too perfect. They fit too well together.
Once you get to the pile of dead kids, we're done. That's it. We're done.
To be fair, you
Yeah.
probably are done once you get to the pile of dead kids.
Yeah, I know.
Some mysteries you just don't solve. Anyway, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions. We will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?